Shalom again, everybody. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, found online at www.KosherTorah.com, bringing to you today's daily lesson in the Sefer Yetzirah. Today is lesson number 82, dedicated, of course, to the safety, health, well-being, protection, prosperity, and all good things for everybody around the world facing all kinds of the curious trials and tribulations of everything that's going on. And just to remind you why this course and this teachings can actually be an answer, a solution to a big problem. Because ultimately, we all know there are a lot of major problems all around the world right now with medical issues, political issues, social, economic issues, and the like. Well, you want to know something? You and I are not going to wave that magic wand to make all the problems in the world go away. The problems will never be solved from the outside in. They will only be resolved from the inside out. And to arrange the connections inside is something you and we can do and must do together. That is what the Sefer Yetzirah is all about. Building blocks. Well, there are those out there who want to destroy. We, in turn, want to build. Well, there are those out there who want to divide. We, in turn, want to unite. But how do we bring about unity? Well, I could wave my unity flag and say, let's all get along, and no one's going to do it. We all know it. But if you can experience the underlying reality of the unity of everything, then you will know, just like Master Yoda would tell Luke Skywalker, from within, you will experience the reality of that unity, which is our ultimate reality. So, how do we get there? What do we got to do? Okay, I have courses on our KosherTorah School, course page, which we have all the practical techniques of meditation. But here in the Sefer Yetzirah, especially in today's class, I'm going to reveal to you a technique which, be blunt, I don't think I've actually ever taught it this way before. 12 years ago, when I taught the in-depth Sefer Yetzirah course, 40 hours long, I taught it all in accordance to the depths of the prophetic Kabbalah, Abu Lafia, Ramak, and all the oldies. And people have always loved that. They think it's one of the best courses we've ever had. But I'm going to reveal to you now a little bit something new. We normally deal with a type of a meditation called Hitbodedut, which means mental isolation, blocking off the outside world, allowing some type of almost like sensory deprivation. We talked about this in the Elijah Code class. Go check that out online in our Elijah course. And there are people to this very day amongst Kabbalists and Sufi, of course, and other traditions in which they go deep into a cave and they seek mental isolation, sensory deprivation, so that the inner elements from the unconscious do not face such opposition when coming into the conscious mind, having to compete with all type of sensory information, which leads to overload. So that's Hitbodedut. But Hitbonenut is contemplation, thinking. And just like you wipe away everything and allow the stuff to come up on its own, well, there is another way. We referred to this way back when in the first chapter as the Sechel Tenuda, the oscillating consciousness going back from intellect to intuitive back to intellect. Well, I'm going to give you an actual practice of how that is done. We've done some of this before, but now I'm going to give it to you in depth. Now, here is the sheet for today's class. Okay, it's Sefer Yetzirah, 2020 for 82. You'll see the link to it in the notes or the page, whatever we call that stuff. I love being unprofessional. Shows how real we are here. But anyway, getting back to what the point is, we are now in the section of chapter 5 where we're doing all the associations, the correlations of the 12. So in the previous class, I gave you all the elemental correlations, 2 pages of them. There you go. The only time we've ever had the 2 pages, because I wanted to space them out so you could see them. And we have here the Hebrew letter with the month of the year, the sign of the zodiac, the tribe of Israel, the permutation of the names YHWH and EHYH. Why both? Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. The path along the Sefirot, the body part according to Rabbi Chaim Vital, the attribute according to Rabbi Chaim Vital, and the directions according to Rabbi Chaim Vital. Again, you will notice that those 3, are actually subject to many, many different points of interpretation. And as a point I made in our previous class, again, here, I wrote it here, and there are the words, so you can see them, all right? The correlations of the body, the attribute and directions that seem to be subject to either disagreement, confusion, or outright concealment, shades of conspiracy, depend on a point of view. Now, let me explain that before we get into what we're going to do here. Years and years ago, a long, long time ago in a galaxy not so far, far away, I remember when I was studying in the Kabbalistic yeshiva of Rav Kaduri himself, Bet El. I remember this very clearly. It was a Thursday in the morning. Rabbi Shalom Hadaya, the son of the Yaskal Ovdeus, the Shamash of Bet El, this is Rehov Rashi's Bet El, was teaching us a shiur class in the Shara Kavanot. And we were discussing the matters of tefillin. Now, for those of you who are familiar with our Torah tradition, you know little boxes on the head and the arm. Well, in the Kabbalistic tradition, based upon a curious statement in the Gemara and older traditions in Halakha, the Kabbalists wear 2 sets of tefillin, 2 little boxes on the head and 2 little boxes on the arm. One is the order of the parchments. The only difference between them really, except 1 little millimeter of size, is that one set has the order of the portions according to how they're written in the Bible and the Torah. That's called Rashi, because the commentator Rashi, he interpreted that was the correct order of the passages. Whereas his grandson, Rabbeinu Tam, held by a different opinion, that the order in the Bible is one thing, but the 2 last sections in Deuteronomy are reversed, so the Shema Yisrael is the last one. Now, that's called Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. There seems to be this argument between the 2 dating way back when. I think it was either at Qumran or at Betar, one of these ancient sites from the days of the temple, they actually found tefillin of both kinds. So this is old stuff. Now, which one is the right one to wear? Well, that's been argued back and forth in Jewish law. And the ultimate conclusion is, whichever opinion is the right one, the other ones are, just not at all, necessary. So the majority opinion accepted the opinion of Rashi, and the Rashi tefillin, is what we call them today, is what every Torah-observing Jewish male wears. Not going to just the inyan with women wearing tefillin. It's not as forbidden as people might think, but at least please do it correctly. But what about the other set? Well, again, the Hebrew term is the keritzoot ba'alma, which means that just like the straps, they're nothing. But the Kabbalists came along and said, no. Curious that the Gemara says that there's a place on the head for 2 sets of tefillin. Now, if you look at the big boxes that are very popular today, this is not really. The place for tefillin, actually, and you can go look up KosherTorah, do a search, and you'll see tefillin / acupuncture. They actually correspond to acupuncture meridians on the body. Now, for those of you of the Torah observant tradition, if you wear your tefillin doing these meditations, it actually augments it because you're tapping into energies. But the point is here, according to the Kabbalah, we wear 2 sets of tefillin, Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, little itsy bitsy ones, 22 and 23 millimeters, whatever, 2 little ones together. And this is the curious thing that came back to this class and the whole point of what I'm getting at. On the head, the Rashi one is worn below, like right here. And then the Rabbeinu Tam one is worn on top of it here. The Rashi one is said to correspond to the Sefirat Bina, the Mochin of Ima. And the Rabbeinu Tam higher is supposed to be corresponding to Chochmah and the Mochin of Abba. Okay, Rashi below, Rabbeinu Tam above. But on the arm, it's the exact opposite. When you put the tefillin on the arm, the Rashi one goes here on the top, and then the Rabbeinu Tam one goes on the bottom there. The opposite of what's on the head. Now, if the Rabbeinu Tam is Chochma Abba, why would it be below the Rashi, which is Bina or Ima? And I asked this question to Rav Hadaya. And the way he responded to me without words was he just raised his hands like this. All right? Let me see if I can get that on the camera by going back. He just raised his hands like this. And immediately I said, I understand, thank you. And it was based upon that, among similar lessons, that I learned, especially as time went by practicing the Abulafia techniques, that there are certain things that you learn from a teacher of flesh and blood, but then you must arrive at a point of your spiritual development where you will learn from a teacher of light, a magid. I taught about this in 1993 in my book, Call Upon My Name, and I've been teaching it ever since. Go online, check out the course pages on meditation. You'll see we have lessons on magid meditation. Abulafian in style, Abulafian in source, I should say, but people have developed it throughout the centuries, especially Rabbi Yosef Karo, author of the famous Code of Jewish Law, if you will, the source of Orthodox Judaism. Now, what the heck does all of this have to do with the Sefer Yetzirah? The whole purpose of magid, getting in touch with somebody above. Remember I just said, all of these correlations, they're kind of confused. They're discombobulated. And maybe there's something concealed. Well, who's going to tell you the truth? Now you understand why you need your magid. And it's your magid that's going to reveal things to you. But you got to get on the phone, if you will, the spiritual hotline. And that's where I'm revealing to you this meditation of how to do it. Okay? Mishnahs 5 and 6, Hey and Vav. Again, follow the same format. The letter is rules, all right? And you put a crown upon it, and then you permutate it, this one and that one, and form the specific things. All right, you can see here the order. Now, being that Hebrew, there's Chochmah and there's Bina, so that's why Hey is on this side of the page involved, so I wanted them to correspond. The Hey, first of the 12 elementals, corresponds, of course, to the month of Nisan, the sign of Aries, the tribe of Judah, the permutations of the name of YHWH that you will see there, and the path of Keter to Chochmah, the first of our Sephirotic diagonals. It says to correspond to the right foot in speech in up eastern direction. Vav, opposite. Next month, Eor. Next sign, Taurus. Next tribe, Yisachar. Next permutations, check out the page. Next path, Keter to Bina. And instead of being the right foot or the left foot, this goes to the right kidney. Is that really right? Curious. And then it corresponds to thought, as Hey corresponds to speech. And this is northeast. And rather than drop down into written commentary to explain and give you philosophical ideas of what this means and why, how about I give you a technique of how to use the letters so that it can get you into that focused Hitbodedut, contemplative depth, digging into the unconscious through the oscillating consciousness to get into the intuitive mind, to tap you in to your personal magid. So I explain pretty much how to do it. We take the permutations of the letters. You see, there's Yud K, Vav K with Ekye for Hey, and there's the version for Vav. Again, it's on the sheet. You'll look it up. And you permutate that version of the names with the specific letter that it corresponds to. The first one with Hey, the second one with Vav. And you just knit them together. Here, that's what this is here. You see? Not only do I knit them together for you with the vowels, I also gave you a transliteration to show you how to do it. Now, why two names? EHYH, Aleph Hey Yud Hey, is actually, if you will, both the name of Keter and the name of Bina. And Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei is the name of Chokhmah and Tiferet. Now, what the heck does all that mean? EHYH is the potential, the concealed before actualization. Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei is the power in the vessel for the concealed, which eventually becomes manifest. That's why it's called the name of God, as opposed to the essence of God, which is Ein Sof, which is unknowable. It is the secret of the words that we recite in our Amidah prayer. Every time the name of God is recited, we say Baruch Hu, blessed be He, the concealed, U Baruch Shemo, and blessed be His name, the revealed. Now, putting together Yud Kei Vav Kei with the letter Hey in the spelling, Yud Kei Vav Kei, Aleph Kei, Yud Kei, you would get Yud, Hey, 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 Vav, Hey, Hey, Hey. Or with Ekyeh, Aleph Hey, 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 Vav Hey, Hey, Hey. And yes, you can recite this aloud. Being that this is a combination, nowhere in Halacha are such things prescribed as being forbidden. Whereas in the Kabbalah, especially if you look at books like Sulam Aliyah and the like, you will see that it clearly states that you need to chant these things. Now, I'll chant for you the first, which is the Hey. How do you do it? You do it any which way you want. Remember, just like people are attracted to different kinds of music. Some people like classical music. If you're of my generation, like good old 60s, hard rock kind of stuff. And if you're of this later generation, you like whatever you like. Everybody marches to the beat of a different drummer. Find your beat. And you can do this your way, as long as it enables you to focus your mind, which will enable your mind to start to imagine. What are you going to imagine? If you're doing the letter Hey, think about the month of Nisan, the month of Aries, the tribe of Judah, the path between Keter and Chokhmah. Think, what do all these things mean to me? You're right. You don't have the knowledge. You don't need the information from a book. What you need is the sense of feeling rising up from within you. That magid isn't going to appear like a 50-foot angel coming down, ripping off the roof of your house, but as that, like with Eliyahu Hanavi, kol demama daka, the soft, still voice that rises from within your unconscious, telling you, think about this, look at that, sense this. Yo, hey, hey, hey. Wa, hey, hey, hey. Ah, hey, hey, hey. Wa, hey, hey, hey. Yo, hey, hey, wa, hey, hey, hey. Ah, hey, hey, wa, hey, hey, hey. Does that sound familiar? Let me do that again. Yo, hey, 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 wa, hey, hey. Ah, hey, 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 wa, hey, hey. I've known when people have heard that before, it says, gee, that sounds Native American. You know, it does. I remember years ago when I was driving through Oklahoma, where they had the displaced Cherokee Nation that was originally from right here in Tennessee. I heard on the radio chanting just like this. I pulled over my truck. I listened to it for about 15, 20 minutes. I didn't know what it was originally. Until at the end they said it was Cherokee, holy chanting. And I swear, I said, that's Hebrew. But then you go back 300 years from now, right? Go back to James Adair, who wrote that book about living amongst the Cherokee in the mid-1700s. And he swore that the Cherokee were of the tribe of Israel. And they had all those kinds of connections. It was that idea of Israelites being here on American soil and their connection that led all of the connections that led Joseph Smith to write his book about the Book of Mormon and the ancient Israelite tribes. Of course, they believe they came revealed from an angel, and not for us to challenge faith. Did the natives know something that we don't? Do we know something that they don't? Is there a connection between us? You'd be surprised at the archaeology. Yo, hey, 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 wah, hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, wah, ha, hey, hey. Okay? Over and over again. However it works for you. You want to do it to a rock and roll beat, do it like that. The next one is Vav. Wa, yo, remember Yud Ke Vav Ke, with the Vav now. Yo wa, hey wa, wa, wa. Ah, wa, hey wa, hey wa, yo wa. Yo ah hey wa, ah wa, hey wa, yo wa, etc. What tune? Your tune. And then, of course, you have to connect, because these are triads. And then you do it with the Shin. I just ran out of time. So sorry. Hey, we'll pick this up, and we'll continue on this line here, because what's important, remember, for you to put this into practice. Do it. I'll see you all soon.